We actually got the most beautiful night for this recording. But welcome back to the second episode of the High Rollers here with West
and RC. Welcome in.
Man.
What hurricane is this again? Nicole? Or something like that? But
yeah, it's the very last remnants of the tropical storm. You can feel Florida and the humidity and the weather. It's around 65, 70 degrees all day. And we're 2 weeks off of Thanksgiving. So, yeah. It's going to drop tomorrow, but regardless, we have a lot to talk about. A lot news-wise.
We got a loaded episode.
Yeah,
for you guys.
Let's recap. We're going to go over little things like what's stuff happening in Europe. Just the Wicker Man stuff. Apocalypse Drop Tower, unfortunately, closing forever. And also, Nemesis getting its retrack, but they had a cool little event for it. There's also Pipeline going vertical. Grizzly speculations.
Home Park.
They kind of tease what happened. There's been a little more confirmation, thank you to KD fans. We're going to end with that one, but Zamperla, they're retrofitting a launch coaster that used to be an Intamin launch. And that goes along with the rumors of, are they working on Top Thrill Dragster? That would be wild. That would be freaking wild. And then, lastly, the last thing I caught for this week is Kanonen, used to be at Liseberg, it's going to be at Lost Island, that new park in Waterloo, Idaho, I think. Unfortunately, was not able to open for the 2022 season this year, but they recently showed a video. I guess we'll start the news with this because it's so small. But recently showed video that is going to be running.
You're talking about the launch coaster at Lost Island, right?
Okay. Yeah, they showed it testing the dummies.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's small enough, but
is that an Intamin LSM?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
From Liseberg.
That's what I thought.
And yeah, they were struggling. I think a lot of parks are struggling with exports this year, getting things in and out, or just shipping just from Europe. And a lot of the great manufacturers are in Europe, so it is what it is.
Harder to get parts.
Yeah. So that's why with Codaland, we're having issues with that, with they're getting their Gerstlauer.
That's what I heard. I mean, they said that they were going to get that open this year, and that just didn't happen because they couldn't get everything shipped. So,
luckily, it looks like everything is there now. Hope they can get that started. But what did you want to start with? Because before we even get really started on news, you also went to El Stumble 2 in San Antonio with the Buzz Bars Coaster Club. That
was an amazing trip. For El Stumble 2, we did SeaWorld San Antonio, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Kemah Boardwalk, and ZDTs. Man. So
yeah, he definitely had I would say a pretty solid trip.
I'd say we go
like you hit a lot.
Yeah. Let's start with the news though.
Okay, yeah, we'll start with the news. So, what did you want to start with out of what I named? Did you want to go over Europe?
Honestly, I want to talk Grizzly.
Okay, let's talk Grizzly.
Let's talk Home Park. Let's talk Grizzly for a little bit.
So, did I have that bookmarked here? Yeah, I did. So, Grizzly.
We had our speculations because you saw this was maybe 3 weeks ago that we started seeing the track work taking place like in person because we went and did Haunt and stuff.
Everything after the drop is just essentially getting ripped off. You don't see anything but the supports. And obviously everyone knew for a fact, because we talked to a few employees that work there, they're always getting retracked. But then things changed a little bit.
It seems like significant track work compared to just standard retrack. Mm-hmm.
Especially with the little teaser they had with Restore the Roar.
Right, and that's where I want to touch is, they did the teaser with Restore the Roar, but then the blog post that they posted, honestly, it was a total letdown in my opinion.
Because there was an announcement for an announcement.
Right. It did was, set up for a further announcement, which, I truly was not satisfied with that post that came out because, I guess for someone in the general public who isn't, up to date on community news, that confirmed that nothing's happening to it and it's just getting work done. But for me, I guess I just wanted a little bit more because, I already knew that they're working on it, but...
They made a whole thing, Restore the Roar. Like, there was even the smallest, we all knew it wasn't going to happen, but the smallest speculation, what about RMC? Why not?
Right.
Just maybe. Because, like...
People talking.
But, no. Like, we both knew Twisted is right there. That wouldn't make any sense.
My expectation with the article would be that they gave more detail as to what was happening.
Like, at least tell us, hey, just like with Racer and just like with Beast, Gravity Group is working on this.
That's my expectation, is that it's going to be Gravity
and
Group.
And what KD fans seem to have tweeted and about this, quote, we have seen evidence all but confirming that the Grizzly renovation project currently ongoing at Kings Dominion is currently being completed by the Gravity Group. Given all the praise of the recent work on the Beast Kings Island received, we consider this a very positive development. End quote.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, Gravity Group already worked on Grizzly.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they also do a little bit of Racer 75?
I want to say it was yes. I want to agree with you and say yes. And on top of that, they did Beast and they did Racer. So, I mean, I guess, the main two that were floated around was Gravity Group as well as GCI.
Yeah. But, I mean, those are the main two that do retracts.
It really wouldn't make sense for it to be GCI. Grizzly has been worked on by Gravity Group before. Why would they switch it up and go with GCI now,
Yeah, they know the track. They've worked with Cedar Fair a good bit. And,
exactly.
When Cedar Fair likes a company, they'll stick with them. They are definitely...
And the reason that people were saying GCI is because of Zinger at Worlds of Fun. But, I mean...
I think they like them for their full-on coasters.
It seems like they're going with a full-circuit ride in that situation. I mean, I don't really foresee that is enough evidence, to say, hey, that would mean GCI is going to work on Grizzly, because Grizzly's already been worked on by Gravity Group, and Gravity Group has been retracking a ton of stuff in the Cedar Fair chain.
Now, I would love to see that little, because I want to hear about Switchback, but that little shuttle coaster that they were potentially making in Dorney Park.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is on the back burner, because that was a Gravity Group coaster. And considering they're doing all this work now, maybe, because Dorney needs something, man. Like, even something like that would be a great fit for the park. Like,
I mean, they have is Thunderhawk there, along with, and they don't have they have a Miler or something is their Woodstock. So, yeah, they need a wooden coaster. Even if they were to down the road go with, a GCI like Zambezi Zinger or something, that'd be cool. But after riding Switchback this past week, I would definitely rather see a Gravity Group. So,
I mean, Gravity Group just seems to know what. They just seem to know, man. Like,
Gravity Group hits, man.
They probably are, like, one of the best. I mean, obviously we know, but consistently make hits. Like, every ride, from the smallest to the biggest. Like, from Oscar's Wacky Taxi all the way to Voyage. Like, you have, like, it's a manufacturer you can rely on, in my opinion. A lot like RMC. Like, you know when... Oh, I'm getting on Twisted Cyclone. Okay, it's still a top 30, top 50 ride, and a lot of people's top 100s.
So unless, you're one of those people that can't ride Woodies because they beat you up, which I understand, but if you're not, Gravity Group has proved itself. Gravity Group and RMC are both two that have proved themselves.
I would say they have one of the most solid track records in coasters, in the coaster industry right now. Like, with what they add. Even overseas. Thinking about some of the stuff there. Wow.
Right. But no, I mean, Gravity Group is who I want to see working on Grizzly. So, of course, I'm happy to hear that that's what's being rumored.
Especially if they end up making some more elements pop or just smoothing out, like, just making the ride experience even more enjoyable for more years, We're on the minority. It's our guilty pleasure, that ride. Like... There's never going to be a line most of the time on a dead day. Like, at night, it's literally a mini Beast.
I'm a huge fan of Grizzly. I saw them talking about, I think it was Sloan and some other people in the Buzz Bars chat the other day were saying that, Grizzly in the back row was too rough, but hey, that's my go-to row. I'm always on there.
Back row wheel seat can mess you up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it can fuck you up.
It's definitely jolty. It's definitely not the smoothest, but
sometimes it's like at night it's worth it. It's worth it. It's so good. But that's basically it for Grizzly. Here. So what next here? Overseas. So our Europe. I don't know if we have any Europe listeners now, but we were going to cover everything. We tried to because the industry is just cool.
Yes,
it's our hobby, so we're going to nerd out about it, and hopefully soon we're going to be making trips there. Hopefully. Like beautiful countries and coasters, you got it. Like, and theming and guest service. You won me over already. But regardless, UK is going through some strife in the sense that, well, Nemesis, we'll get that out of the way, just because it's coming back at least. But for now, it's getting closed down. Nemesis, as we know it, is getting a full retrack, which is a good thing, in my opinion.
How many years has it operated? Like 28 or something like that?
Close.
It's a high number, so I mean...
Opened in 93, 94, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
It was one of the first.
Maybe
B&Ms.
it's over 30 years operating then. I'm not too sure. But it's seen a lot of riders over the years.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And the fact it's even still smooth. Like, I don't hear people really talking about it being, like, rough. But it's to the point where they feel that it isn't time for a good retrack. Spending the time, and I don't know how long. Is it going to be closed for all of 2023? Is it only going to be closed?
I would
probably assume that because of where it is.
Yeah. I mean, they did Hulk in a year, right?
Yeah.
Hulk was down for probably around a year.
And that's what I was going to bring up. This is a really good thing because Hulk is better than ever after the retrack.
I couldn't say I remember my rides in 2015 because I wasn't even a coaster enthusiast, but I mean, my rides this year on Hulk have been incredible. So
top tier B&M.
100%. That and Kumba are just my two favorites in Florida. My two favorite B&Ms. Sorry, Mako. Sorry.
Honestly, whenever people say Mako, Montu, and Hulk, or what did we just say? Sorry, we're getting a little buzzy now.
We got what? Kumba?
But anyway, yeah, and Kumba. Yeah. Whenever you say the top four there, when you switch them around, I can take any answer.
Yeah.
Because, like, those are phenomenal rides. I can attest to Mako because I just hear it.
Manta as well. I mean, if you like your flyers, you like the forces.
I think that might be... Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Manta. Like, Manta and obviously...
Mako, yeah. Well, and then you have Kraken, but that doesn't really compete for top spot, top B&M in the state. And
then Icebreaker, I got to look forward to that. Where it was supposed to be family thrill, and now it's just adult. With comfort cost.
Icebreaker's interesting.
Dude, the launch coasters C's added this year's interesting, but we've definitely tangented off of Europe. So back to Europe, I like that they had a whole event for this. They had a whole announcement say get your last rides for this. But the whole theme of Nemesis, it's a creature that they're trying to contain in this area and all that. And they had the whole team. I don't know if that was the team based on the theme, but the team Phalanx to basically go around the park in these hazmat suits or in the Nemesis area containing Nemesis for now, and it's going to be bringing it back. Almost having like a little bit of like residual feels from Haunt,
I like
Halloween events. Yeah, it was really cool to really send off Nemesis as we know it.
I think that speaks to Europa, right?
This is Alton Towers. We're just finishing the first joint here, so yeah. So we need to stay with just ourselves right now. So, but Alton Towers, yes.
And it definitely speaks to Alton Towers as a park. to give their coaster a send off like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing why this UK and Europe, like, I think, like, stuff they do like that is just so special. Like, they really celebrate and really appreciate their parks. I am excited to go to Europe, but great send off to Nemesis for Alton Towers, not Europa Park. But moving on down, I'm not sure of the geography of UK, but moving elsewhere in the UK, to Drayton Manor, where unfortunately the sadder news. One of the most unique drop towers in the world is closing forever.
You know, what's the manufacturer of that one?
It was Intamin, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It was the only stand-up. So they had regular sitting. It was very similar to, like, the drop towers that they first made at, like, I want to say they're very similar to, like, the Six Flags America drop tower, something like that.
Yeah, I believe Kings Island has that model as well. I think Kings Island, CGA.
Yeah, it's a little similar to, like, King's Dominions, but I know it was one of the first gen, like, towers and, like, seating they had, where it wasn't the full ring.
Okay.
I
got
but on two of those, on the tower going up, you were standing. It was like a bicycle seat when you went down.
That's awesome.
So, unfortunately, after, I think when it opened in 1999 or 2000, something around there, it's had 22 years.
That's a good service life.
Drayton Manor. It's one of the tallest rides in UK. Unfortunately, it's closed and had its last riders. I want to say October 30th, 31st, somewhere around there.
Probably 30th, Sunday.
Yeah, but
yeah.
There was, for both of those events, it was back to back. Like, they did Apocalypse, and then the next day, a lot of enthusiasts went over to the Nemesis.
Right.
But it was a sad day because they said they were getting the last few minutes on. Great pictures, really heartwarming to see all the enthusiasts getting together for that in the UK. And hopefully you guys get something even bigger and better. It doesn't matter if it's a coaster, but another coaster you guys can hold. Just adhere to your coaster culture in the UK, you know? Because I don't know if there's really... It's kind of similar to something like Top Thrill. Like, we lost that as we don't know if we're gonna ride it the same way ever again.
Likely not.
So who knows what's gonna happen? But I'm trying to think of another example that's actually gone. Like a really good ride that's gone. Hopefully that's not Toro, but it's not looking like it. So
you know, stuff like Dueling Dragons. You know,
I love Dueling Dragons. I was fortunate enough to ride it before they stopped doing it too.
Yeah, I'd say it's almost like just losing something polarizing. You know, that's something that's very unique, and it's seen a lot of guests.
Yeah,
you know, in the
Dueling Dragons definitely has seen a lot.
It's operated. So, you know, for them to lose Apocalypse and also lose Nemesis for, you know, a year to get it retracked, you know, those are two big things.
And then there was some scary news, thinking that for ending the year, also at Alton Towers, the Wicker Man was not going to be open for the last few, I think for the fireworks spectaculars, what they have there, because they had a weird, like, malfunction with the Wicker Man getting stuck on the lift for at least 2 to 3 days. I think it was just 2 days, but could have been 3. That's why the speculation was like, is the chain messed up? Are they going to have to order something new? Is it going to be just done for the rest of the season? Shout outs to Alton Towers, and this is why I was saying, like, I just really appreciate the Europeans, how they treat their parks there, for really putting in the effort and getting it, not only working to get it down for the special event that they have there, but also getting it working the right next day, fixing whatever they needed to do. So, a lot of parks, I'm just saying in our area would have just said, it's done for the season.
It's rare to see parks do that. You know, think like just Six Flags America, for example. Superman done for the season.
Oh, we're going to get to that. So... Six Flags America. Great Woody. That's it. If they made a... okay, we're skipping ahead. So, that's basically UK... Oh, actually, last thing for Europe. It's a Lichtenberg. You guys have heard, right? Adding the first free spin 40-axis coaster. Can't even... Yeah, you haven't heard of that country? Maybe you have. It's coming there because they're building a theme park now. That country has been building up in the past year. And none of this is happening because it's a meme. But yeah, if you kept up with the Listenberg meme, I like that European Coaster Club had to use that to go along with the meme.
I like it right before IAPA.
Yeah, that's exactly. So if you're not paying attention, maybe some people, especially if you didn't pay attention to the Listenberg meme, they got just thrown into that whole rabbit hole. So, but now that's the end of the Europe coverage that are there. But I'd say jumping in North America again. Let's talk about Wildcat.
That is just great news, honestly. 2.5 hours away from another RMC. Mm-hmm. What I can't say I'm disappointed to hear that.
I also love the Pennsylvania coasters. Just like Phantom being changed.
Right.
Was a revenge, and now Wildcat is also a revenge.
That's interesting.
On opposite sides of Pennsylvania. Very cool.
I wanted the name to be Twisted Twizzlers, honestly.
Okay. Maybe for like a joke, and maybe I would have gotten used to it, because it could probably still work. You could probably call it that still. It's red track,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to look at the POV or not to get your final opinion here of this.
I have seen some of the elements. I like it. It's Joe Draves, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything from Gwazi and onward has been Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're outside here in the Zebo. So you might hear a car or two go by, but it is what it is. Wildcat's Revenge, an RMC coming to Hershey Park. It looks interesting, right? Because it's truss style, 140 feet tall. 4 inversions, so tied with with Untamed and then Steel Vengeance and I forget the other one in North America that has the most inversions.
Outlaw Run, maybe? I don't know.
And 400 more feet of track to go alongside. It has the longest step of underflip, which the Joker has one in Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and I think Zadra has one when it goes into the structure at the end. But yeah, this is RC is witnessing the POV right now.
That looks amazing, honestly.
Now, we like RMC here.
That looks very unique.
We can feel the differences in a lot of the different airtime hills and forces and different roles they throw at us. I can see the critiques, right? I can.
That rendering of Wildcat's Revenge really makes it look unique compared to what I've ridden.
I think Joe Draves is definitely bringing a new taste to RMC. When you look from Gwazi and onward,
right?
Even the profiling of some of the elements, the pacing of some of the elements. Yeah. I think a lot of them so far have been very positive G heavy, which is generally not what you got in a lot of RMCs before. They were negative G heavy, and they weren't just negative Gs, but that was what they were mostly known for. Now they're trying to diversify their palette. I think they hear you enthusiasts.
Yeah, to see the portfolio be diversified like that. I'm super excited for Wildcat's Revenge.
Yeah, I'm curious how the black and the red will look.
Right.
Because we've never seen like that truss style go have a different color. Normally they just, because the Gwazi it's just regular.
Looks like tannish.
Yeah, like it's wooden, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna see how that's gonna have to look. I don't know if it's gonna look tacky or cheesy. I don't know if it's gonna be one of the coolest schemes I've ever seen. I'm gonna ask every company to just do this. We don't know, because I'm wondering how the wood is gonna mesh with it, right? Because all the beams are black, but the wood is still, it's still wood. It's unpainted. It's gonna be that brown. I wonder how that's gonna mesh. They're doing 3 trains. Did you know that?
Yes.
And you saw there's no mid course. Did you know what they're doing for that though?
No.
Unload and load station.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I do remember hearing.
What are your
that.
thoughts? Considering this is at Hershey Park, and they're not known for the best operations.
Yeah.
Consistently stacking canned ammonia.
Horribly.
Your capacity machine, but 5-minute dispatches sometimes, and the line would be cut in half because of that. A lot of the times there's less capacity on an RMC than a B&M Hyper, so I just gotta wonder. I heard they're doing potentially different lockers too.
They're doing the Velocicoaster lockers.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Which I'm very happy to hear.
Because I've heard those are clearly the superior lockers in the industry.
Yes, and they have those at Dr. Diabolical's as well, which I'll touch on.
What else do I could say about Wildcat's Revenge, really?
So,
I guess I'll say I didn't hate Wildcat. I definitely thought it was boring. I didn't think it was the world's roughest roller coaster, to be honest.
I thought it was pretty damn rough. My wood tolerance.
I thought it was rough, but how did you think that was rough, but not Grizzly?
I definitely think that Wildcat is rougher than Grizzly.
See, one of my last rides on Grizzly this year, it was the first time I've legit gotten like a rattle ache in my head, and my spine did not feel okay. That was one of the first times I ever felt like, oh shit, this is not. I'm not liking this. So,
Wildcat's Revenge.
Now, it's going to be. We're RMC fans, so
super excited for a unique Joe Draves creation.
I'm just excited to see what Joe can bring. Exactly. I'm going to be hitting Gwazi before the end of the year, so that's up there with Steve. Some people have it better than Steve. But moving on to a company that's been under the radar. Us enthusiasts like to really push them aside
pretty quickly.
I mean, I don't blame them because most of the rides they add, they're family thrill, kiddie coasters. We also know them for their Valairs. Excuse me. Yeah, but they've gone past that. It's been years, and a lot of companies have. Well, just like how Vekoma has gone long past the boomerangs and SLCs. Right. And we're seeing that in the sense that Zamperla has taken it to themselves to go ahead and retrofit what used to be an Intamin launch coaster. It's going to be moved to the P&E Fair in Vancouver.
And that'll be fastest launch coaster in Canada.
Yeah, it'll be the fastest one in Canada. All right, sorry about the siren. They were outside. That honestly sounded. I don't even know. I can't decipher sirens all the time.
There's a firehouse nearby. Yeah.
So I'm reading this here. Yeah, Vancouver for immediate release. Launch coaster facts. It was definitely a family edition, right. It seems like. But still the fastest launch coaster in yeah, it's still gonna be. I want to see exactly how fast it is, though.
But that brings the question on: are they working on Top Thrill Drag?
Yeah, the elephant in the room. If anyone has been following the Top Thrill updates, rumors. If this is the first time you've heard this, rumors have been going around that for a while Intamin has not been working on it, but then something came out that no, they're definitely sending. On the shipping containers and stuff, when they were sending the track, they're definitely sending these pieces to, I think it's places in, I want to say Sweden, where they work at, where a lot of their companies are.
Yeah.
Little did that person know that just an hour closer from that port is Zamperla's factory. Which this information is, thank you to El Toro Ryan.
Yes.
For giving this little tidbit. And man, he said that, you know, he also used the information that potentially Playland could be working on this also. Why not? It's a big jump, in my opinion, to work on a family LSM launch, and then now you're working on one of the most renowned launch coasters.
Problematic launch coasters.
And problematic.
Yeah.
Just notorious coaster for its many reasons. The work on Top Thrill Dragster. Zamperla, if they actually are working on that, man.
All I can say is I am so excited for IAPA. I wish I could be there in person.
For real, man. Like, and the thing is, if you really think about their portfolio, like what rides they offer pretty massive and big launching rides. Like those big double loops,
right? Or
those boomerangs. Now, we scoff at them, right? Because no one's added them and we haven't rode them yet. But those could be awesome. We just don't know. I mean, some of them are hyper-sized. Some of them are close to giga-sized, from what I remember in some of the renderings.
Right.
It's like, who knows? Every company needs that moment to prove themselves.
Oh, my.
And the storm is proving itself right now. This is probably going to be Zamperla's moment to
make it or break it.
If this is all true. Now, this is coming from the he said, she said game of and no one's even confirming this. Right. All rumors. But man, what if? And then just what if Zamperla becomes one of the top 5 or top dogs in the industry?
15 years down the road or something, though.
I mean, I would say that's one heavy foot in the door. It's like it's closing, and then you're literally stamping. Oh, you're waiting for me. We're working on Top Thrill.
A successful Top Thrill.
Because they can make a swing. They have it in their portfolio. And Adam Sandy really going around gassing up this IAPA, man. Like no other Zamperla IAPA before.
Right.
You know, what's in the box? You know, it's just weird to say I'm excited for Zamperla. For once, I'm excited to see what Zamperla can do.
I want that box to get opened up.
Let's hope we don't get Kings Dominion just blue balled. Like, announcement for announcement or something else that isn't that exciting. But we'll see. I'm excited.
And another manufacturer teasing ahead of IAPA, RMC. And they're saying that they're just going to continue to push the boundaries and push the envelope. So I'm excited to see what's in their box as well.
You know what? I have an idea. Predictions for IAPA.
IAPA predictions. Okay.
Let's do a top 3 predictions if you finish off this joint here. Because I have some predictions, man. I honestly have some predictions. Now, you can be from anything from coasters, dark rides, IP announcements. But obviously, we're a coaster cast, so we're probably going to... at least in my mind, I have quite a few things, potentially.
What are you thinking?
1, this is a safe bet. They could potentially tease BGW's RMC.
Oh, man.
That could be a good place for them.
Oh, man, yeah. Wow. The Drakenspire replacement, right?
At the same time, it could step on the shoes of Dark Coaster.
They already announced Dark Coaster, though.
Yeah, but...
So,
you haven't even opened it yet, so you got to get people on it.
Here's the thing. Are they going to, tease the model, or are they going to straight up tease or, hint at Bush, I
feel like Bush maybe would have said something.
I can't foresee Bush doing an announcement. I don't know. And I don't think it's because it would overshadow Dark Coaster, because, they already made that announcement. I just, I think it's too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon.
Yeah. Because, like, who knows? Because that's another thing. Another bet. That might go alongside this one. We could see the first T-Rex.
Well, that's the thing. I think my prediction is that what RMC is going to do is they're going to talk about models more than, announcing another project. I think they're going to say, like, maybe the T-Rex model's ready. Maybe that's what they're bringing out of their box.
So because, like, when I mean we're going to see the first T-Rex, I mean, like, literally,
maybe the first prototype.
Like, maybe even have, like, the trains of it there. Like, this is it.
Awesome.
This is the prototype.
Yeah.
On the track as well, to show how big and phrasing here, but how big and thick it is.
Dude, that could be what's in the box.
So I'm saying, like, if they even just show new trains in general, like new restraints, I would not be mad at that either, because that is one complaint I have about RMC trains, is the restraints are not great.
Yeah.
At least for my legs. Like, you can feel cramped, and I almost feel like it's almost a little too, like, restrictive.
The Raptor restraints as well are just as bad,
Maybe. That would be a cool announcement, too. But my third one, I don't have a third one yet. But those are my two for now. I don't know if you thought of anything.
Just Zamperla and Arms. I mean, those are the two that have been teasing the most. Yeah. So it makes sense. But what was the one about... Wasn't it Premier Rides is doing something with, like, quote-unquote, a legacy manufacturer, right? That's another one that's big.
A perfect place to look at this would be to just go on IAPA's Twitter, because they've been posting all of the panels here. I don't think the schedule is out yet, to be honest. So we're gonna have to wait a few more days. We're too excited because we're really close. We covered Mutanagi. That's happened at Lost Island. I wouldn't mind, now that that's open, potentially just going there if it's in the way for a trip next year.
Lost Island's hard to get to. I think I was talking about this with a Buzzbars member, and they were saying you'd have to include it on, like, a trip where you go get what's it, Adventureland and, like, Silverwood or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's off the beaten path.
Yeah, I hope Lost Island can, I hope any park can really make a footstep and a footprint in this community and begin making their strides, because we need competition, but we also, more parks, more fun. More options, man. More ways to...
More credits.
More credits, too, More unique rides. It's just... I'm not going to ride the SOC. Because I think it has over-the-shoulder restraints. Like, I don't think they have vests yet, so...
Oh, man. I don't know the last time I've ridden an SLC. I think it was last summer I rode T3.
See, that's why...
I haven't been blessed with riding an SLC in, like, 14 months.
That's why I think it's going to be hard for me to actually hit milestones, because I kind of go out of my way to skip, like, redundant clones. Like, SLCs, boomerangs, like, and those are everywhere.
You know who's the same that skips clones?
Who?
Anthony Schwartz. Anthony Schwartz, I think Sloan was saying he skipped Goliath at Fiesta Texas, the Batman clone.
Okay,
like,
but
he went as far as to skipping a Batman clone.
Yeah.
And the boomerang.
But I'm going to want to hear what you think of that Batman clone, because everyone was saying it was running on fire. At least from what I've been hearing.
It's a Batman clone.
Really?
I mean, my favorite Batman clone that I've been on is Great Adventure.
Great Adventure's Batman clone.
That's the one I've found to be most forceful.
Interesting.
Over Fiesta Texas or SeaWorld San Antonio. I think those are the three I have.
Yeah, I heard Batman from a few people, at least in buzz bars, it was cooking. Like they were just lapping that thing, and they said they never thought they would want to lap a Batman clone.
I'd never think that I'd want to lap a Batman clone. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean,
strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's what we'll segue into. But before we even do that, we'll segue into the El Stumble 2, where RC. Yeah. Because we really pipeline going vertical. That was the last thing, and yeah, it's rising. Cedar Point.
Yeah, the
Wild
Cedar
Mouse.
Point Wild Mouse construction's really coming along too.
But those are plug and play, so I'm assuming that's gonna be done by the end of the month before it gets too cold.
Right.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Focus all on top throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's opening for the 23rd season or in 2023, we still don't know yet. They're still saying 18 coasters though.
Right.
But nah.
But where were we at before we got to Goliath? And we were talking about clones. We were talking about Lost.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So we just rambling. You know.
Yeah, but like I said, if someone told me, "Oh, I'm gonna skip all of Akuma SLCs, all of Akuma boomerangs," I just I'll ride the ones with vests because it's a different experience, and maybe if I like
Doesn't
those.
T3 have vests though? Because I'm pretty sure that's the last one I did, and I'm pretty sure
if that has vests and it's that rough, bro, then
I don't remember it being that bad. It wasn't as bad as Firebird, to say the least. Because Firebird sucked.
Firebird's not even a.
I know, but it was worse than my ride on T3.
No,
I'd say.
actually, no. We'll cover that first.
Yeah, so we talk Six Flags.
So we went to Six Flags America on 2 separate days.
Yeah. I went on a random Thursday.
Yeah, his was way more spontaneous than mine. Mine was a little more planned, but even then I ended up not even linking up with that respected homie because I had car issues. So by the time I got there and tried to check everything out, only thing open was Wild One, which I guess was a win because that's the best ride in the park. But
my trip was more. It was a Thursday, and I remembered that it was open the previous Thursday.
Yeah, your trip?
They had power hours or something. So I just I got home from work and I was like, I'm gonna go to Six Flags.
Yeah, your trip was an actual trip.
And
Mine
it was the first time I'd been since 2016, aside from the time I went and redeemed my pass and left. So I got on everything, and I hadn't been on since 2016.
Yeah, besides the hyper in the park, but
right, Superman was closed, but I got on Batwing, Roar, Wild One, Joker's Jinx, and unfortunately rode Firebird. So
now to give some credit, it's been through a lot.
Yeah,
it's the first one.
Yeah, it's the first
it was a stand up. It got relocated, and then it got turned over floorless.
Yeah, I don't know. I rode it once because I figured it couldn't be as bad as what everyone had said. But honestly, Firebird, it was really horrible. It wasn't fun at all.
Firebird is my 110. Right, it's right above Vortex at Carowinds, which is 111. Atrocious ride. That's why I'm very keen on going to Georgia Scorcher, because I hear that one is actually a very, very good stand-up. That or Riddler's is it Riddler's Revenge and Six Flags Magic Mountain?
Yeah, they've got Green Lantern at Great Adventure too. There's still stand-ups out there. But really, I mean,
Green Lantern has the yellow loop, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, great, because I remember not enjoying. I thought it was okay for the time. It was years ago.
But no, I honestly, the big takeaway from Six Flags America was that Wild One is amazing.
Wild One, I don't even think, this shouldn't be a hot take, but Wild One is the best wooden coaster in the DMV area.
Better than Invader, yeah.
Better than
Grizzly, yeah.
You can't, Racer 75's not in the question. They don't dual the ride.
Yeah. Without a doubt, Wild One is the best Woody in the area. And honestly, Roar is potentially second best. Roar was actually pretty good.
Okay, I haven't rode a Roar. So I literally just rode Wild One and left.
I think I'd put Grizzly over it still, but Roar is a close third. Because Invader's just a family coaster.
Okay, so. Have you rode Invader in the front though?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Because I personally think that ride is exponentially better in the front than it is in the back.
Invader does hit a little bit, but I'd say Roar is better.
Right, man.
But really, no, Wild One.
I mean, Invader is underwhelming. Don't get it wrong. But
I'm saying it's a family.
I don't know if it's better than. I don't know if it's better than Roar. Because Roar is it's kind of boring, man. It's kind of boring. Or at least when I
Roar was hitting a little bit.
Okay, you were getting night rides. It's a little different.
I'm also biased because I love PTC lap bars, and I don't really like.
Yeah, they still have PTCs on there. I forgot because it was one of the first. It was one of the first GCIs.
PTCs are one of my favorite restraint, without a doubt.
They're hit or miss because when I do get good room, they're one of my favorites. But when I'm stapled, one of my least favorites. Oh man.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't like, but I typically never get stapled.
Yeah, unless they are forcibly trying to troll RC, he never gets stapled, bro. I don't. I said
you look over and it's oh my, yeah.
There's a whole inch or two of room change, and I'm like, bruh, I'm going back to the Cedar Point trips. 9 out of 10 of my rides on Steve, I was stapled because they just
they do staple pretty hard at Steve.
But you even got room. You were getting twisted
room,
ish room at some points.
They staple pretty hard, and they actually do it Wild One as well because they don't let you pull it down. They just force it onto you. But still, I mean, I was
just about to say I couldn't get the best room.
PTCs.
Oh, I love them. I think they're good.
Even when I'm a little stapled.
Until I get stapled, but they don't staple me. They just make it to where I don't have,
room.
I don't have room. I don't get all the lats, airtime.
But I mean,
I'm not shuffling in my seat.
Wild One was fantastic.
Yeah,
truly.
I just think people don't talk about wooden coasters. I just think that's it. Because also, okay, I was thinking about this too. It's in Six Flags America.
Yeah.
You go there and then you ride Wild One and do everything else and experience the rest of the park, and then you don't think about Wild One anymore.
I think a lot of people, right, so they got the credit a while ago. They haven't ridden it recently because people don't go to Six Flags America that much,
Yeah.
Which is a bit, I don't know. I remember first podcast, I literally said I didn't claim it as my home park when it's technically my home park, but after getting those rides on Wild One, I'll say it's my home park. Because honestly, it is my home park. But
you're gonna claim it?
Yeah. I'm hereby claiming Six Flags America as my home park.
I mean, at least you can claim you have the best Woody in the every area, so Hey. And we Woody lovers here. Phrasing. We love wooden coasters, man. When they're good, I don't want them to be RMC'd. I just want to ride that wooden experience.
And speaking of good wooden coasters, just got 2 brand new ones on this Texas trip.
Yes. Yeah. Did you finish everything? Because I literally didn't have a trip at Six Flags. I rode Wild One and left. The rides were great, but that was it.
Batwing was fun. Joker's Jinx was forceful. I mean,
that's one of my favorite clones.
I had a good time. I mean, everything was good. So, home park.
I was surprised. I mean, man, I guess I'll touch up a little bit. The environment was. I guess
it was fine when I was there.
It was fine. It was. I guess I was expecting a little more, because generally even if you are a lower
my expectations were low, and that's kind of what was met. I wasn't expecting much.
I guess I was expecting a little more crowds.
I didn't
and
go in with high expectations.
Yeah,
That's the main thing.
I guess I was so low, and even I was just like, damn. Even the locals know, like, just do not come here. I'd rather drive another hour, go to King's Dominion, another hour maybe, go to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg.
Honestly, my expectations weren't very high, and I had a good time. So honestly, my expectations were kind of exceeded.
I mean, you rode Wild One 10 times,
yeah,
and ended it with that, right?
Yeah.
So
it got to be a bit much.
No,
it was hitting.
No, I'm saying Wild One actually hits, bro. Like, it's actually the laterals on that helix at the end. I do not remember,
especially if you're sitting by yourself and you sit on the right side, you just get folded over. It has the legend effect in the legend helixes, so that's why I was impressed.
So I would say, little tidbit, if you're in the DMV area and you don't have the credit, or you haven't rode Wild One in a while,
go ride it.
Just go to Six Flags America just to ride Wild One.
It's worth it.
Just to ride Wild One. Like, if you have, because you probably have a pass. You're traveling anyway, bro. Just show them your pass real quick. Ride Wild One. Leave. How close is the airport to Six Flags too?
Reagan's probably like within 30 minutes.
Yeah, so if you make a flight to Reagan so you can leave too if you're not in the air, perfect.
All my guys with free flights, free standby flights, make a day trip to America. It's worth it. Go ride Wild One, maybe Batwing once, then you're good.
Yeah, that was Six Flags America.
Honestly, the one funny thing that happened at Six Flags America was the one very old maintenance guy that was just working on Batwing.
It was just one guy for you?
Yeah, so I went to Batwing and I sat and I wanted to get a night ride, and I waited there for like 45 minutes, and just one of the rows wouldn't go down, so all of them would go down, but then the one would just stand up. So the old guy would go to the train and try to work on it, and then go back to the booth and try to put him down. And I just waited there for 45 minutes, and he couldn't get it. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go ride Wild One. But it was just, so funny. The maintenance team was one guy. It was just a meme.
Yeah, it's like Planet Coaster or Roller Coaster Tycoon. I only need one mechanic. It's cool. Bruh.
I was just I was just waiting it out. All right.
I'm assuming they're just I'm going to assume they said, you know what, you got it, guy. They sent the one mechanic because
he might have been the only one there. I don't know.
No, they had to, because what happened if? I mean, you know what? You might be right. What else was open there besides Joker's Jinx and a few other flat rides?
They probably had that one old guy walk the whole track of Wild One that same day to open it.
Tickets getting into the park now are $25-$30.
Yeah,
online in certain times.
They're open this weekend. Tickets are $20 for veterans or whatever, or for family of veterans.
I guess closing thoughts on this segment is, I personally, I'm not too sure the fate of Six Flags, these smaller Six Flags parks, right? Because with their revenue recently and this year, and just how they've definitely fallen off after their COVID recovery, where they were looking really strong. Actually being one of the stronger corporations leaving the pandemic, they have fallen down yet again. They are a roller coaster ride themselves when it comes to financials. We'll see.
One thing I will say about that, though, is something I saw today, that Salim, their CEO, on the Q3 earnings call said he wanted to install record-breaking roller coasters.
Which is a U-turn from, we have rides, we're going to make experiences.
Right.
But how are you going to do that when, you're taking out stuff, closing stuff, you're doing with the reverse blast? I mean, they're reversing the train. It'll be back. But you're not adding anything for people. The food is still the same. This year, that's why. People aren't... I guess it's different than what it was 10 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, when, corporations could blatantly just take advantage. People get hip to this stuff. They don't take that anymore. They like to take their money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Especially with, I think a lot of times, social media is a good part of it, too. It's spread awareness, so even then, they'll just detour.
Exactly.
But they know people want new shiny things, just like to look at and ride on because you're at a theme park. So that's why they seem to have pivoted in that way. I say do both because, I mean, a lot of parks do that anyway.
Exactly.
But hey, we'll see how Six Flags will end up. We'll see if they'll even show their face at IAPA because they didn't even do their general yearly thing because of their whole shift. So who knows what they'll shift in that way as well.
That'll be really interesting to see. 100%.
All right, 3J's in here. We've talked about the news all the way from North America to Canada.
And Europe. Can't forget Europe.
Excuse me,
UK.
North America from us to Canada, then over to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, the reason why we did it before is so we can really think of and remember his wonderful Texas trip with
El
the Buzz
Stumble
Bars.
2.
Yes. And you actually got to ride Wonder Woman,
Yes.
Dr. Diabolicals this time.
So 4 new credits. That's it. So I did Texas in July and like pretty much only hit the San Antonio area. So 4 new credits, Dr. Diabolicals.
Yeah, Texas is huge because
Golden Lasso coaster.
you drove all.
Yeah.
You drove out of your way twice because ZDT's out of the way and
Seguin, and then Kemma.
Yeah,
And that's a whole
man.
So the 4 credits:
Texas...
Switchback, Boardwalk Bullet, Golden Lasso coaster, and Diabolicals. And so day 1, we got up at 3 a.m.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
and went to the airport. And we had to fly. And then by the time we got to San Antonio with our overlay, it was like 3 p.m. And then we drove 5 hours because we stopped at Buc-ee's to Boardwalk Bullet, which is fantastic.
Okay, you gotta delve into that.
So we got there, and some of the Buzz Bars members were there.
I saw that.
And it was like really overcast and windy. So we only got 6 rides. It didn't close for weather or anything, but we just ended up leaving to drive back to San Antonio. But with the thing I can take away from the 6 rides,
so real quick, was there a pay for ride or was there like a pass?
There's a wristband. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could just buy the wristband.
How much was the wristband?
I think it was like $30 or something like that.
And was there for the whole boardwalk?
For the whole boardwalk. Okay. Yeah. I think it was like $30. But Boardwalk Bullet was amazing.
I need to look at the stats of this thing, man. Because, like...
I'm pretty sure that's my number 1 in Texas.
Huh.
I can confidently... Yeah, that's my number 1 in Texas.
Wow. That sounds... oh, my God, man. It's already a bucket list. Like, Gravity Group has taken so many of my bucket list, like, top 10 bucket list coasters. And you're just...
Yeah,
the way you talk about
Boardwalk Bullet is amazing.
Because he has all these Gravity Groups that I haven't rode yet.
Obviously, man. And this is... I want to shout out my guy, Marshall, Six Flags Over Texas, coaster engineer. Awesome guy. He was saying, you can't just ride it once. You got to get some laps on it. And by the 6th lap is when, I was really realizing that this thing is amazing.
I mean... You said Marshall is his name?
Marshall, yeah.
I agree with that with almost any ride.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, because, like, it's like almost... And you can't do that with every ride all the time. You go on busy days, it could be super out of the way, But if you can, get as many rides on a ride you really like as much as you can.
Well, and one of the locals that was with us was saying that it was a slow day for Bullet. And I thought it was running really good.
Dude.
Like, obviously, I was a bit underwhelmed after the first ride, but our 6th ride, it was pretty much a night ride, and it was raining. So...
I mean, rain, it runs better, though.
Yeah, it was awesome. It ran the best it did on that 6th ride. But it brings the airtime, it brings the lats.
Yeah, so general, like, average height for a Woody, 90 feet, drop 92, average length. How do they fit all that on that pier? 3,200 feet of track?
So...
Dude, that has to be oh my God.
Another, it was John Mike.
Do you even see where you're going? Because it has to be just a message.
It was John Mike said that the entire ride, 3,200 feet of track, is fit into 1 acre of land. And he said it goes under itself, goes in and under itself, like an obscene amount of times. I can't remember the exact number, but this thing is built just incredibly.
3.5 G's on this too.
Yeah, I mean
that's
that
a Woody.
Thing is,
man.
I don't know. There's something about it has the airtime, it has the lateral forces, but when it also has that jank where you get the weird
that's what I'm saying.
I love that about wooden coasters, and I noticed some of those on Bullet. It's I noticed some on things like Voyage and stuff.
The imperfections.
Yeah, and that's what really makes me love wooden coasters.
Yeah.
Is the uniqueness of them. I think Bullet's probably my number 13 overall.
Wow.
I have
Wait, so we're Thunderbolt fan club here. If you didn't know, where's Thunderbolt?
I think Thunderbolt is at 15. Now.
Okay. Okay, that's
because it did go over Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I was okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
it does much. It does more than Thunderbolt. It makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I might have more wooden coasters in my top 20 than steel now.
You guys are gonna have to hear the end of the year rankings episode because it's definitely gonna be spicy.
Hot takes.
Definitely gonna. You might have heard from Coaster Talk already.
Oh, I'm known for my hot takes.
The slander. All right. Well, some of it's slander. All right.
Yeah.
The Skyrush opinion was bad. It was slightly troll.
Since changed, but yeah.
But yeah, we have. I would say, considering that we have a lot of Woodies up there, it's pretty hot for some people. Some
people just can't handle, the forces on wooden coasters.
I'm just hoping I condition my body forever with it, that I'll just never
I hope
be
so
oh,
too.
I'm too old for a Woody.
I hope so too.
I'm just I'm always just calloused. I have a wooden coaster callus shell, just built from all the PTC restraints around my knees, from all my shins.
Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite wooden coaster restraint? It's got to be no, Buzz Bars.
Yeah,
it's gotta
I was
be
Buzz Bars. Yeah, but
I mean, but what's second?
Is that even a restraint though?
Right.
Is that even a
Dude,
restraint?
you got to get on Phoenix.
It's gonna happen next year because it's just up the highway. I might try to hit another park that's close, maybe Hershey.
I'll have to go with you, man.
I mean, that would make sense then because Wildcat Revenge.
Well, I mean, and one of my biggest bucket lists that I still don't have is Ravine Flyer.
Oh yeah, Waldemere. Yeah. Pennsylvania. That's in Pennsylvania too, right? Or is that
Yep, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Well, then Pennsylvania. Why does no one talk about it when it comes to roller coasters?
I feel like Ravine Flyer. I think it's fairly rated, maybe.
No, I hear people say it's literally mini Voyage.
Bob from Coaster Talk. That's his. I remember it being in his top 5, or something. Which and me and him used to not have similar opinions until I started really liking wooden coasters, and now we have more similar opinions.
Woodies are gyms.
Yeah.
A good Woody is a gym. I can understand, Hurler, Carowinds used to be King's Dominion. Those are not good Woodies. Mean Shriek was not a good Woody. But
I'm totally forgetting. So I wanna jump back to Texas, and the one day that I'm gonna skip for now is official day 1 of the stumble. I'm gonna skip Fiesta Texas because that's a lot to talk about.
You're gonna skip Fiesta.
So I'm gonna talk about the second day. And speaking of another good Woody, we started.
Okay.
We started that day at SeaWorld San Antonio with
So
Texas.
you're gonna backtrack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to SeaWorld, I guess, Sunday morning.
So you guys did SeaWorld half day, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Because we did SeaWorld and then we left and did ZDTs.
Okay, I gotta know, does everyone actually like Steel Eel there? Because...
From everything that I heard, yes.
That's so funny. Like, I remember thinking it was okay, for a while.
I'm a fan of Steel Eel.
And then I remember I heard opinions it's boring, and I was like, I think the airtime's kind of jank and funny.
I don't know. I don't find it boring. I think it's a great ride. I just think
I like the jank.
SeaWorld San Antonio is just not a full day park. That's just
they need standouts. Like
I think it's fine for what it is. It's just you can't have too high of expectations. You have,
especially when they're getting rid of lessening their shows, focusing more on rides.
You have a good mini hyper, you have a great Woody, and you have a Scream and Swing. That's about it. I mean, then you have the Batman clone, but
I heard Great White Shark is not one of the best Batman clones.
I mean,
actually,
I don't know.
I've heard a weird opinion about it once. I think someone said it's one of the best, but definitely a minority.
Batman clones are just Batman clones to me because I don't even find it to be like one of the best invert models.
You see,
the main thing.
But the thing is, you're not too big on inverts in general, though, right?
Well, I am, just they don't rank super high for me. So
yeah, inverts generally are my favorite B&M model. This tangent has gone ridiculous. All right, so yeah, you're on Switchback, ZDT.
Yeah, so
so what is ZDTs exactly?
Okay,
ZDT's amusement park.
ZDT is the last thing we did on the trip, and it's like 45 minutes to an hour out from San Antonio, and this is just some small amusement park. But Switchback is a gravity group shuttle coaster, it's like a boomerang. So, and it's gravity group. So you've got the airtime, you've got the forces. Like, it was just really, Switchback was another amazing Woody. Like, I was like super fulfilled because we rode 3 amazing Woodies, because Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio too.
So did that improve for you at all? Did it stay the same?
Texas Stingray went up.
Okay.
I was actually I enjoyed my rides a ton.
It's warmed up for the whole season now.
Yeah. It was running super smooth, and it was super forceful. Well, not forceful, but it had a bunch of airtime. So I had a great time riding Stingray with everyone from Buzz Bars. It was super fun. But
I guess Switchback, it's a...
Switchback was... And that's where I wanted to go with Switchback, is I want to see more of those gravity group shuttle coasters. That thing is awesome.
Yeah,
it's relentless.
How tall even is it? It's not even 50 feet, maybe.
But that thing was relentless. It's just... Gravity group is like a different breed.
Out of stock. I can buy Switchback. So, yeah, Seguin, Texas, man. 2015. 64 feet. It's nothing. 11. So you do go 1,100 feet a track, 1,200 feet if you round up. And then you do it all over again.
Yeah.
Man, so ZDT hasn't added anything really ever since that, huh?
They don't have any other credits, no. They have like go-karts, some flats, but no other credits. But ZDT's was awesome. If you're in San Antonio, it's not too far for you to go ride. So
how was the drive?
It's fine, honestly. Texas is just flat and straight. Yeah. So, like, all the drives were fine. Me and Daniel, DP Coaster Picks, were just vibing, just driving around.
I'm pretty sure it was a much better drive than the 4-hour to Heat. So, you guys went all the way 4 hours to Kima Boardwalk.
Yeah. Just for 6 rides
and
on
board, 4 hours back.
And then 4 hours back in the same day. And that was after we had
I would have got 10 or 15 rides, bro. There's no way.
It was after 12 hours of doing airports and stuff.
No, actually, no. I get
it. It was crazy. That was a crazy day. And then we partied up with Buzz Bars.
Yeah. So I guess we can't do a little reverse of back on over to Six Flags Fiesta Texas.
So that is the main, that's the main event. That's the granddaddy. I mean, so basically we all get to Six Flags Fiesta Texas and meet at the front gate, and this is after last night and that we had gotten back from Kemah and stuff, and we're just mobbing. we go and we take over Batman the Ride, the SNS free spin, and I think we filled like both sides of like 4 trains or something like that.
What did you think of that?
Timbili's better. That's the same opinion as back when I rode it in July.
So like, do you get more spins on it?
No, I get more spins on Timbili. Actually,
so weird.
I don't know. I like the smaller models. I want to go ride Dragon Slayer. But then we go and I think we took over Streamliner Express, the kiddie coaster.
Oh God.
And then we finally got Wonder Woman because it was closed at first whenever we first got there. And so whenever we left Wonder Woman, Jeffrey Siebert messaged Marcus and offered us a tour of Iron Rattler's first drop.
Oh man.
So we all were super excited and stuff. And then so we just kind of kept mobbing around the park.
And this is why, join the Buzz Bars.
Yeah.
They give some of
these stumbles are awesome.
Best experiences, not only just park stuff you won't be able to do on a normal day, but the folks, the community, man, like the homies at the Buzz Bars are great.
Absolutely. So we kept mobbing around the park. We rode Superman. I think we took over some other stuff too. And we met up with park president of Fiesta Texas, Jeffrey Siebert. Also, before we did that, we did Dr. Diabolical, which is awesome. I love everything about Dr. Diabolical. It has the theming. It has, it has a whole storyline to it.
Yeah, how does the theming start? Does it go all the way from the beginning of the queue?
And you got to get to the building, the first building. Yeah.
And then it starts going.
Yeah. But then they also have my favorite lockers, the Velocicoaster lockers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So parks are just doing that for all rides now.
And I honestly, I'll touch on this more, but I think that came from Jeffrey Siebert.
No, I mean, I almost want to say 99% sure it did, because Jeffrey is just that guy.
Yeah.
He knows. He's the perfect person, in my opinion, to be a park president.
Yes. He's a fellow enthusiast.
I didn't even know he was enthusiastic,
Yeah.
Until so that's really cool to hear, that someone that cares is in the position to really give love to a theme park.
And it shows.
Yeah.
Because my main thing, and I had a fantastic time at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. When I went in July, Wonder Woman was closed, Iron Rattler was on one train, Dr. Diabolicals hadn't opened yet, and I was thinking to myself, I really enjoyed myself in July, but I want to see this park firing on all cylinders. And that's the experience that I feel like I got
and more
on this trip. And more, which I'll touch on.
Yeah.
But it was just such a fantastic time. And definitely, I think it might be a top 5 park for me.
Wow. Fiesta Texas.
Might be a top 5 park for me.
So everything all together, though. The rides.
Yeah.
Top 5 park.
And so along with a first drop tour of Iron Rattler, Jeffrey Siebert actually took us up on top of the quarry wall and walked us from Roadrunner Express all the way down to past Krypton Coaster and next to Wonder Woman.
Photographers all there were going off. You gotta... Daniel was probably having a field.
Oh, he was.
It
was great.
Probably... I can see his cheese right now. I can see his cheese right now, man.
He was having a great time.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He was getting awesome shots. But, I mean, it was truly just one of just the craziest things I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the only thing close I had somewhere to that, another siren coming, was getting a backstage tour of Verbolten with the coaster crew for Virginia's for Lovers last year, where they really went in depth and talked with us with what's going on with how the ride works, really going in depth with Zero and how they work with them, and finding out what me and Gavin joke about the German secret roller coaster society, because apparently Zero can remote control the ride from Germany and fix the ride in certain circumstances. Yeah, it was wild. Like, that was one of the coolest tours. I wish I could have recorded more, but a lot of what was said was inside of you couldn't hear anything. But yeah, the Jeffrey Siebert thing's out of much cooler, bro, because you actually are able to talk to the park president.
Yes.
While getting toured by him. Like, that's like Willy Wonka almost.
Yeah, I mean, he was extremely personable. I mean, it was such a great experience. And on top of the tour that he gave us, he gave each and every one of us VIP wristbands for the rest of the day.
Oh, nah.
And I just...
Join Buzz Bars.
Yeah. So we were just able to skip lines for the rest of the day. And I mean, it was something about the way he said it. He was like, thank you for taking the time out of our day at the park to join him on this, incredible once in a lifetime experience tour of the Quarry Wall. But thank you for spending your time doing that, and here are these wristbands. That's just uncanny. It's just it was just so crazy for the park president to do that for us.
Good people like him, we need more of them in this world right now. We need more Jeffrey Sieberts, is all. I'm happy that he was able to provide the way that he was too, and just enhance your guys' day, because regardless, it sounded like you guys were going to have a great day just being at the Buzz Bars, riding coasters, Fiesta Texas. But on top of all of that, man. No, so did you ever get to talk to him?
Yes. So I did get to talk to him, and I never would have expected that I'd be talking to Jeffrey Siebert that day. So I didn't, have any questions for him in particular, but I brought up how much I appreciated everything that went into Dr. Diabolical, and how much of a great addition I thought it was. And he was basically saying that that's his baby. He really put a lot, that's his project, and I can definitely see that, and all the little touches and just how awesome and unique that it's a whole experience.
I feel like. But seeing this, it opens your eyes for other Six Flags parks, in my opinion. Because, sure, there's budget, right? You're only giving so much, and they are one of the more visited Six Flags parks.
Right.
But, I mean, what's stopping Magic Mountain for them? I mean, I guess West Coast Racers, right? That's themed pretty well.
Right. I think that it has...
Stopping Great Adventure,
It's Jeffrey Siebert. That's what it is.
This is what I'm saying.
I can see that that's his project, and it really is an amazing addition to that park.
Okay, but...
I think it goes as far as to... Maybe because he's a fellow enthusiast, that's the reason that we have those good Velocicoaster lockers at Dr. Diabolical's, because he knows.
But I also was thinking what other park president besides really putting their effort for Six Flags or even Cedar Fair, let's say, just really putting their foot to the point where they're actively trying to add new trains, on Iron Rattler.
Oh, and that's something else he was telling us
they're
talking about
actively
the trains and stuff.
Fully in the creative process for a new roller coaster, and almost every step and every aspect he was.
Right.
Like I said before the cast, when we were talking about this briefly, it's close to John Warley level of dedication.
Right.
Like on Alton Towers. So I wish nothing but best of luck for you, Jeffrey Siebert. You've earned a fan. As if I already wasn't a fan from seeing everything this whole year and what you've done. Like, just, I am excited to go there next year. That's all I'm saying. And hopefully see the man for myself and have a little conversation with him and thank him in person.
Truly, yeah.
But
I mean, that was just truly such an incredible experience, and I'm so grateful for having that opportunity this past weekend.
yeah.
And the other thing, the rides.
Yep.
I mean, so getting back on Iron Rattler and then getting on Wonder Woman for the first time. And I already touched on Dr. Diabolicals, but...
But first, where would you place Dr. Diabolicals in a dive ranking? We're not too big on him.
I'm not...
But what's your favorite, you would say?
I'm not a big fan of the dive machines, but I would say it's better than Valraven.
Oh,
but,
that's not too hard to beat.
But not as good as, Sheikah and Griffin. So... I've actually heard that Emperor is one of the best.
Yeah, I've heard.
At any rate, the reason that it's better, in my opinion, than Valraven is just because of the touches to detail and it has a good layout too. But just like the whole experience and storyline makes a difference for me. So, but Wonder Woman first rides, I think I got like 4 or 5 rides on it.
Nice.
And I got, back row, front row. But the restraints are really bad.
So
honestly.
You really noticed them on this because they're much more aggressive.
I did Jersey Devil Coaster this year, and I really didn't like those restraints on Wonder Woman. And it is a great ride. But honestly, it might be my number 5 in the state.
Now...
So that...
I guess what...
So
what's your rankings of Texas?
Right. So potential top 5 in Texas, it's Boardwalk Bullet, Iron Rattler, Switchback, Texas Stingray, Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I really, it's hit or miss. Those restraints were... The layout of Wonder Woman was great, and it really hits, but the restraints were really, really hard to deal with. And then my re-rides getting back on Iron Rattler were fantastic.
Acorn.
Yeah. Iron Rattler was running great. I would say that's definitely my number 2 in the state behind Boardwalk Bullet.
I don't know, last time you weren't lukewarm on it, but you would say it's improved.
I would definitely say Iron Rattler improved as well. So Iron Rattler improved, as did Texas Stingray. 100%.
Man.
I guess that pretty much covers everything for Texas.
I guess any fun festivities that can be said on on the cast regarding
the Stumble?
Yeah, regarding the El Stumble too.
Well, I am not... I'm not a big beer drinker, but we had 4 kegs of different beers from False Idol.
Man.
And that's their go-to brewery.
And as someone who partakes, I'm a little bit jealous.
And honestly, I was very impressed. So... I
mean, Mike, he treats that like
brews.
It's the second coming of Jesus.
He brought the brews.
So, if it wasn't essentially at least good, then I would be like, we'd have a problem.
It was a great time. And then me and Daniel showed me this local taco place, Los Balitos, which was amazing.
Yep.
So,
the local places, man.
I think we ate there like 4 times. And then the other thing being Buc-ee's. We had to make the drive out to Buc-ee's a couple times, and that's always a treat.
Wait, so you went out of your way to go to Buc-ee's?
Well, we stopped on the way to Kemah Boardwalk, and then we stopped on the way back from Kemah Boardwalk.
So there's only one?
We stopped twice.
There's none in San Antonio?
Nope. The closest is like an hour, I think.
Wow.
Which it's worth the drive for me, in my opinion. I love Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's or Sheetz?
Buc-ee's, 100%. But that and then Sheetz is my second favorite. So.
Have you been to Tim Hortons yet?
No.
Apparently that is like, that's the one, but mostly are like in Canada. There's a few up north, I think maybe Ohio and stuff.
Bucket list.
But like Tim Hortons, because that's what I hear is like the one for like convenience store, like, I don't know how we always get into convenience stores. Happened last episode. Happened this episode.
I know why.
Man. Yeah, because like, one last things real quick just out there. Wawa's overrated. It has so many options, but they're overrated.
I want to say that Wawa's fairly rated, but like...
The people say they're like better than Sheetz.
Yeah, there's too many people that hype it up.
I'm just like, Sheetz, man. Sheetz.
See, you get to stop at Sheetz today. I do not. So...
Man, you don't understand. I should have took the picture. The cookout finally opened. And I am literally parking at my Sheetz, getting Sheetz, putting the stuff in my car, and then walking to the cookout because it's right next to it.
I'm jealous.
And then I'm getting my food. I'm like, oh man,
I'm
cheddar
jealous.
style. Give me the fries and hush puppies.
I'm jealous.
Maybe a shake because I didn't realize the orange push-up was an orange cream shake. Man, $10.
Cookout is amazing.
I've had it 4 times since it opened. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's I gotta hold myself, bro. Like it's too good a value. It's just too good. Like
we've got a Cane's opening up here soon, though.
Nah.
So now you can be jealous.
I think they might be opening up cookouts because there's one in Leesburg. In here up in Virginia, so they might be trying to open some up in Maryland too.
Yeah.
So who knows? You might be blessed with the cookout.
That'd be nice. I'd love to see one.
Honestly, we're talking about food now because we don't have anything else to talk about. Coastal Rise. We've talked about everything. So, thank you guys for listening to this. 3 joints in, but.
Episode 3, we're going to have potentially a special guest.
Oh, man. That's going to be exciting because I want to almost make like questions for him. Somewhat memey, but somewhat serious because it's someone that's also in the industry. So,
Yeah.
But also, man, I can't say it. It's just funny.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to spoil it.
But I will say, it might be someone you may know. Hint, hint. That's the little hint you might guess. But, anyways, it's been West.
And RC.
We'll catch you guys in episode 3. Thank y'all for listening. And peace out. Stay cool.